And time to break into our dog spot with Gal Skinner from the Dog Emporium on the EM125 at Porsches. And it's very many happy returns of the day to you from all your colleagues, as John, Alexandra, and I do believe Natalie. Yes, and all your many, many human and doggy customers and friends.
Thanks very much.
How nice of you to come in on your birthday. But you've had a bit of cake anyway, haven't you?
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much.
Now, we do understand Key, the collie who's undergoing training with you to become an assistance dog, he's broken out now, hasn't he? And has he qualified?
Well, has he qualified? That is the story. He has qualified as an assistance dog, and he's now registered, and he is a working assistance dog. Yesterday, he had to do an obedience certification as an extra part of his training. Unfortunately, he didn't make the points that he's needed to pass the test, so he's going to have to resit again in October. He was basically sitting there for 4 hours. It was really, really hot yesterday. There were a lot of strange dogs, a lot of strange people, and I think it was just all too much for him. The judge who'd come over from Austria was absolutely amazing, and he chatted to me afterwards, and he said, look, that the dog's done more than most of the dogs in the test had done with his his assistance dog training, and that he's a young dog and just give him a break. So Key's basically going to take a month off. He's obviously still an assistance dog. He's still going to work as an assistance dog. He's just going to take a month off from concentrating on obedience training and just do some fun things and learn some fun things.
Well, actually, he had a quiet word with me, and he said he doesn't see why he should have to be doing all that. Now he's become a radio star.
Yeah.
And he's quite happy with that position in life. Now, you're talking about training. There were obviously other trainers there as well, were there?
Yeah, there were. There were about 6 different dog trainers from across the Algarve at this event. And we did have the opportunity to see some of them and their different training methods. Which
some of them leave a bit to be desired, don't they?
Yes, quite a few of them leave a bit to be desired. There were dogs, that were on choke chains. Yeah, and there were dogs that were having their ears twisted and being kicked and things like that to try and get them to do what was required for this test.
I sincerely hope. There was one time, I remember a few years ago, they were using electric shock treatment collars too. They're not using those still, surely?
Well, they're still using them, and they're actually recommending them to clients.
No.
Yeah, so it's something that people need to be aware of. Also, these prong collars, that when they're being used, I don't know even if they had a place ever, but these trainers are using them, and it's that people need to be aware of this and to avoid these
Surely
trainers.
That's going to cause aggressiveness in the animal.
Yeah, it can do. If the dogs receive the shock in the wrong moment, for example, you've got 2 dogs that are facing each other and they're giving each other a stare down and about to attack, and then the electric collar goes off. Yeah. They assume in the dog's brain, it assumes that the pain that it's got is from the other dog, and they actually will attack and be more ferocious.
No, all this, it doesn't work in my view. I was involved with police dogs, and my young son still does take them from puppies to the initial training stages. And it's all done by example, coercion, fun, praise, reward.
Yeah, fun, praise and reward is definitely the way to go. And, these harsh methods where you're screaming at the dog and you're trying to get your point over to it by force is just not working. You can see the dogs, they come in and they're giving calming signals off. They just don't want the owners to be screaming at them, and they've got their heads down on the ground and they're sniffing around in the grass, and they just trying to avoid confrontation.
Yeah, and they switch off, and they're not going to be responsive to the training you're trying to give them, surely.
No, they do switch off. I mean, we saw a couple of times with the heel work, at this event yesterday, and there were dogs there that were trotting along next to the owners, and you could see they'd been positively trained. And then there were others that had their heads hanging down, and they were doing it because they had to, but not because they wanted to.
Now, what would you suggest if somebody takes their beloved pet to a trainer and they don't agree with the methods they're using? How can they politely get out of this?
I think all owners are responsible for their dogs. And, if you wouldn't use whatever methods these trainers are using, if you wouldn't be happy having, whatever different type of collar they're suggesting put round your neck or put round your arm and yanked, then I would never put it on my dog. And I would suggest that they just say, look, really, this is not for me and I need to find a different trainer.
Yeah, thank you, but no thank you. And how do you find a good trainer then? Obviously, you're going to say yourself, I know, but I'll
come and
say
see
it.
us.
I'll say it. You don't have to. Yeah, because we know your methods are very, very passive and very persuasive, and you do all the right things. I've seen you working. So, full marks to you. But how do people actually find, if they don't know about you and they're not listening to this show, how would they find a trainer?
It's not the easiest thing to do, and unfortunately there isn't a registry here in Portugal for dog trainers. So you're having people that are opening up training schools and they don't have any formal qualifications whatsoever. These are the people that tend to be using these harsh methods. Your best bet is to go where you have been recommended to by somebody, so somebody who's been there.
Personal recommendation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, and final thing, because we're running out of time, and thanks for being so patient on your birthday, but we were talking about clicker training the other week. Are you doing any courses on this?
Yeah, tomorrow, the 22nd of May, we have an introduction demonstration.
Oh, you're starting tomorrow?
We are, yeah. At 5 o'clock. And anybody's welcome to come along and have a look. And we're going to give an introduction into this clicker method of training, and people can see how it actually works. I'll be clicker training my glamorous assistant Natalie, and I have to take some M&Ms along for her because she doesn't do well on dog treats. And Key will be clicker trained as well. So,
well, have you posted this on your website?
Yes, we have.
Okay, well, if you're interested in that, guys, or any other canine queries or questions, check out all the W's, dogemporium.pt. I've got it right, haven't I?
You haven't.
Or just bowl along. You can't miss them. They're on the main EM125 near the Porsche's roundabout. Now, it is your birthday. You've had a little bit of fizzy water.
Yeah.
Yes. You've had a bit of cake.
Yeah.
And I do believe this is one of your favourite songs. So I'm going to try and do this for you. It might not work, but I'm going to give it a go. Listen up. Thanks a lot, Gail. And that was Gail Skinner from Dog Emporium on the EM125 at Porsche's.